When did I first get serious about being a Christian? I would say that would be about 2 or 3 years ago when our family started going through just working through some of the things that we'd been dealing with, and which in turn led to some other things happening. And it's been a rough couple years, and basically what I've learned is trust God. Now that I've gotten more serious about being a Christian, I've seen my life change in several ways, mainly in the way I treat others. Before I got serious about being a Christian, I was pretty self-centered and was only out for myself, and whatever you think, oh well, that doesn't matter, so we'll just go with what I think. And after I got more serious about it, I really noticed myself treating others differently with more Christianly love as Christ would love them. God's Word and prayer have played a big part in it, because prayer is the number one way that I communicate with God, and you can tell Him anything and He's always there, and He's not going to berate you for what you say. He's going to respond with love to what you say. And His Word is really the only way that you can learn God's thoughts, so to speak. He inspired it, so it's got to be good for something, right? And every time I read the Bible, I find a passage that just blows me away. Every once in a while you find something that blows you away, and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that could happen. And then you read a passage, and almost every time there's a passage that blows you away like that. Because of Christ, I've seen a change in myself from being selfish and only out for myself and rude to others and thoughtless in my actions. And since Christ came into my life, I've really seen a change in the way I treat others, with more respect and love, and putting them before myself.
I just got serious about God when I realized that I can go to Him and I can trust in Him. And last year I couldn't really trust anybody with the school I went to last year. It was the whole thing of I have to keep in a shell, and God's not like that. I can tell Him anything, and I can go to Him in prayer, and I just found extreme comfort in that and satisfaction, where I'd never really seen anybody do that, oh, I can go tell Him something. Just last year, I just saw how the world would take even the littlest thing you said and turn around and stab you in the back. And I guess that's the number one thing I saw, was God will never do that, and He'll always be there for you, no matter what you need. And so the characteristics, or how I acted before I was a Christian, I was extremely self-centered and kind of a jerk. I was always out for me, and just the other guy, that's his problems. And I realized over this summer is when I really realized I was working at a camp, and it was all volunteer hours, and I realized that how to become a servant. And that is what really just stuck out to me, how to become a servant like Jesus Christ was. Last year I was at a public school, and that experience was extremely shocking for me. I had always grown up in a Christian home. My parents were very protective, and now I know why, that the world is a very scary place. And last year I went to a public school, and I found out how scary the world could be. Every day I'd be either offered drugs or hookah, every single day. And as I continued in that public school, I just started to fall away from Christ. I just started to be oh, well, He's over there, and if I need Him, I'll just ask Him for this or that. It's almost like a wall. God's on the other side of the wall, and I'm here. And if I need help, I just kind of ask Him. And that's how last year has affected and whatnot. But this year has definitely been inspiring, almost, just to be surrounded by people who just love God and have a passion for Him. And that's just really shown that the power of God and His glory what it can do, and that's just been extremely eye-opening. In the next year, I'd like to see God just use me and my talents for His glory and to better help His people, in a sense, because I learned over the summer, like I said, how to become a servant, and I just want God to keep using me as that servant, become more like Jesus Christ and how He was a servant, and He always went out of His way to help people.